Good morning. This is Chaplain Stephanie again with a morning devotion for you from the book The Cup of Our Life by Joyce Rupp. If you were listening before yesterday, you heard that we're going to be talking about cups, so I invite you to look at and hopefully find a cup in your room that you can reflect on. As you look at or hold your cup in your hands, notice the space within the cup. Think of the space within yourself. It is filled with the divine presence. Draw near to this loving presence. Sense this loving presence permeating your entire being. Rest in silence and tranquility. Listen to God say to you, "I am here." One of my favorite parts of the day is when I come in from my early morning walk and have a cup of freshly brewed, steaming hot coffee. On cold winter days, I especially like the feel of my favorite coffee mug in my hands, and I thoroughly enjoy the sips of liquid that bring welcomed warmth into my body. My coffee mug reminds me that cups are containers designed to hold something refreshing, just as we are containers meant to hold the divine presence. Because God dwells within me, I like to think of myself as a mini Ark of the Covenant. God goes with me wherever I go. I carry God into each relationship and experience. A powerful thought, that one. Our understanding and our experience of God shapes our image of God and our spirituality. Who is God? Where do we find this God of ours? If we look at the Hebrew Scriptures, we will find that the divine presence is everywhere, always moving and always calling to people wherever they may be. If we look at the Christian Scriptures, we find a significant addition. This divine presence has made a home in us. Jesus said, "Make your home in me." He used the image of the vine and the branches to emphasize that the same life that surges through all parts of the plant is similar to the life of God that surges through our being. God is no longer just out there. God is also here within us. The Spirit of Jesus lives on in our own bodily temples. We have become the home of God. Maybe some of you have days when you feel very alone and isolated. When this happens, we can feel very lonely and separated from others. But if we are the dwelling place of God, we are never truly alone. How could we do a better job of paying attention to God's presence with us each day? How could remembering that God's presence dwells with the people around us help us to see people with different eyes? As we reflect on God's presence with and among us, let us listen to the words of John 15, verses 1 through 11. "I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine grower. He removes every branch in me that bears no fruit. Every branch that bears fruit, he prunes to make it bear more fruit. You have already been cleansed by the word that I have spoken to you. Abide in me as I abide in you. Just as the branch cannot bear fruit by itself unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Those who abide in me and I in them bear much fruit, because apart from me you can do nothing. Whoever does not abide in me is thrown away like a branch and withers. Such branches are gathered, thrown into the fire, and burned. If you abide in me and my words abide in you, ask for whatever you wish and it will be done for you. My Father is glorified by this, that you bear much fruit and become my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. I have said these things to you so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete." and please join me in prayer. O divine presence, you have danced your way into my innermost being. O mystery of life, you have tended and nurtured me. You have enriched my spirit and watered my dryness. You have poured your abundant love into the veins of my soul. In the darkest of nights, you have surrounded me with your love. O divine presence, your radiant energy surges through my being. I bow to the profound mystery of your sacred life within me. Amen.